Think about the 120 years when Noah was called by God to build this huge big boat in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the wilderness. It made no sense. What do you think people were doing? Have you lost your mind? Are you crazy? You're building a boat? Like, the sea is like, hundreds of miles away. It doesn't even rain because of the atmosphere, the way it's set up. What are you talking about? There's a flood coming. Noah, you're crazy. You've lost your mind. And Noah dealt with that with every hammer of the nail. There may have actually been some people who said, hey, I'll help you build a boat, but I'm not getting in. I think you're crazy, but you're a good friend, so hey, I'll walk with you. Think of what happened for that 120 years while Noah was building the boat. But as we all know, God told Noah after he brought the animals into the ark, he also had Noah and his family get in the ark. It was actually a week before it started raining. And after they went into the ark, you know who closed the door on the ark? God did. Noah didn't. God did. Go back and read Genesis 6 through 9. What that means is God's going to finish salvation when he sees fit. And it won't be up to you at that point, because I can promise you that when it started raining and when the deeps opened up and burst open with floods, I can promise you that the people around him at that time were saying, man, we probably should have listened to Noah in the last 120 years. We probably should have been getting on that ark. They may have actually, before they were drowned, they may have been beating on the door of the ark. Let us in. And guess what at that point? It was too late. So it will be for all of those who don't believe one day. But thankfully, it's not at this moment. But we don't know when that moment will be. Noah and his family obeyed and entered. The rest of the world ridiculed. Some even maybe even admired him from a distance from the big boat he built, but didn't understand it. But they didn't respond and obey. Do you know there's a lot of people that come gather with the church family, even on Sundays? And they say, man, some of the things you say are nice. Some of the things I don't like, and some of the things are nice. Some of your songs are nice. Some of the songs I don't understand. And they're close in proximity. Like, they'll come to a service. They may even help with ministry events or with community events. And they're close. But they never actually come to Christ. And I don't want that to be anyone in this room today. That you're so closely associated with the church, I'm not talking about the building, the true people of God, that you do nice things and you try to help out, but you didn't get on the ark. You know what I'm saying? Because you can do the right things and still go to hell, because all of us are sinful. But here's the point I want to make with you with Noah. Noah wasn't saved by the water, because as we know, those who went under the water in literal baptism, they didn't make it. They were judged. Noah wasn't saved by the water. He was saved through the water. Make sure you stay with me. Does that make sense? He wasn't saved by the water, because if it had been the water, he'd have been dead. But God saved him by having him build an ark, and he was saved through the water. He was actually, if you go back and look at the time frame from Genesis 6 to 9, he was actually on that boat for over a year, about a year and 10 days, somewhere right around there. It may have only rained for 40 days. Let me ask you this. In that week before it started raining and the deeps burst open, when Noah was in there waiting with the smelly animals, maybe a little sweaty, going, man, have we lost our mind? We're in this boat and we're closed in. Are we the ones crazy? And then on that seventh day, there was no more question, was there? Maybe after they'd been on the boat for a few months, it stopped raining, but the earth was still flooded. Do you think they may have thought, has God forgotten about me? What's going on here? But God never forgot them. He brought them safely through to ultimate salvation. Their lives were saved. They were saved through water.